You're watching South Asia Newsline and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 13th of October. India and Canada agree on new roadmap for ties as foreign ministers meet. Trump reiterates India-Pak ceasefire claims, touts tariff threats as real peacemaker. And dozens killed in Afghanistan-Pakistan clashes, border closed. And now for all the details, India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar held talks with his Canadian counterpart Anita Anand in New Delhi on Monday and described India-Canada relations as steadily progressing over the past 2 months. Our meeting continues the constructive conversations we have had since May 26. We are working to restore and reinvigorate mechanisms to advance our partnership, Jaishankar said, adding that both ministers bear the responsibility to rebuild cooperation in line with the expectations of their prime ministers. He said the two sides have prepared an ambitious roadmap covering trade, investment, agriculture, science and technology, critical minerals, civil nuclear collaboration, AI and energy. Anand appreciated recent discussions and recalled the productive meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Canada's PM Mark Carney on the sidelines of the G7 summit held in Canada. The renewed engagement marks a thaw in ties that had soured after former PM Justin Trudeau's 2023 allegations of India's involvement in Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing, a charge India dismissed as absurd. And while speaking to reporters on his way to Israel, US President Donald Trump reiterated his claims of tariffs paving the way towards stopping the conflict between India and Pakistan. Trump has said that tariffs have given Washington diplomatic and negotiating strength. He also talked about the ongoing border tensions between Pakistan and Afghanistan and alluded that he would resolve the issue as he is good at solving wars. Ever since the announcement of the ceasefire, Trump has repeatedly claimed that he helped stop the conflict between the two neighboring countries. New Delhi, however, has maintained that the truce was achieved through direct talks between the Indian and Pakistani militaries, rejecting Trump's claims of mediation.
And the tariffs have given us diplomatic strength. They've given us negotiating strength. I settled a few of the wars just based on tariffs. I said, as an example, with India and with Pakistan, I said, if you guys want to fight a war and you have nuclear weapons, I'm going to put big tariffs on you both, like 100%, 150, and 200%. No, don't do that. I said, I'm putting tariffs. I had that thing settled in 24 hours. If I didn't have tariffs, you could have never settled that war.
And in the most serious confrontation between Pakistan and Afghanistan, dozens of fighters were killed in the intense overnight border clashes, both countries confirmed on Sunday. According to Pakistan's military, 23 of its soldiers were killed, while the Taliban reported 9 fatalities on its side. Tensions between the neighbors have been mounting after Islamabad urged the Taliban to act against militants that it claims are launching attacks inside Pakistan from safe havens in Afghanistan. The Taliban, which took control in 2021, has repeatedly denied harboring Pakistani militants on its soil. In a post on X, Pakistan's Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar urged Afghan authorities to take concrete measures against terrorist elements seeking to destabilize bilateral ties. The escalation follows Taliban accusations that Pakistan carried out airstrikes in Kabul and a marketplace in eastern Afghanistan last Thursday, allegations Islamabad has not confirmed. In response to the latest fighting, Pakistan announced the closure of border crossings along their 1,600-mile frontier.
हम ज़ेरो टेंशन के तरफदार है और अगर और नहीं चाहता है तो फिर अफगानिस्तान के पास और रास्ते भी हैं.
Moving on, the latest court hearing of Baloch Yakjehti Committee leader Mehrang Baloch and her fellow activist was held inside the Quetta district jail rather than the designated anti-terrorism court, sparking outrage among rights groups who condemned the shift, calling it a blatant manifestation of institutionalized repression against peaceful Baloch political voices, as reported by the Dawn News. In a statement shared on platform X, the BYC said that this shift to jail hearings marks a grave and deliberate attempt to suppress transparency, exclude public scrutiny, and further institutionalize the criminalization of peaceful political dissent in Balochistan. Mehrang and other activists have been in custody since March this year after their arrest under the Maintenance of Public Order Ordinance. Initially detained for 30 days, their imprisonment has been repeatedly extended. Authorities later accused them of inciting violence and registered additional cases under the Anti-Terrorism Act and the Pakistan Penal Code. Sri Lanka's Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya met Chinese President Xi Jinping at the Global Leaders Meeting on Women held in Beijing on Monday. Amarasuriya took part in the summit and said, "We reaffirm our shared commitment to women's rights and equality. No country has yet fully achieved gender equality, and the road ahead demands our continued commitment." The summit commemorated the 30th anniversary of the 1995 World Conference on Women. China and Sri Lanka share a long-standing friendship, with women-to-women exchanges composing a vital part of the bilateral relations. Amarasuriya arrived in Beijing on Sunday noon. She is also scheduled to hold separate bilateral talks with President Jinping and her counterpart Li Qiang to boost ties during her visit. The Bangladesh Army has taken into custody 15 serving officers after the International Crimes Tribunal of Bangladesh ordered their arrest for alleged crimes against humanity committed during the regime of deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Army Adjutant General Major General Muhammad Hakim Uzzaman said 16 officers were directed to report to headquarters, but one, Major General Kabir Ahmed, Hasina's former military secretary, remains absconding. The ICT Chief Prosecutor Tajul Islam demanded that the detained officers be produced before the court within 24 hours as required by law. The tribunal recently issued arrest warrants against 30 individuals, including Hasina, over alleged abduction and torture of descendants during her tenure. Among the accused are 25 serving or retired military officers, including 5 former DGFI chiefs. The court, originally set up in 2010 to try 1971 war collaborators, has resumed proceedings under the interim government led by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.